All right, my name is Nob again. This is the fifth part of this video. So those of you who watched the other four parts, you should have an idea what I'm talking about. Whether you accept it or not, whether you agree or disagree, but I'm sure I gave you some food for thoughts. You can, even with your so-called cognitive dissonance, it's gonna be hard for you to try to say that I don't know what I'm talking about. Even if you want to be a liar, I'm sure I said enough things for you to go and really search some stuff, especially the historical aspect of what I'm saying. So the topic is Voodoo and Christianity are the same religions, 100%. I'm not saying Voodoo is like Christianity or Christianity is like Voodoo. I'm saying Voodoo and Christianity, they are the same religions. Just like in many videos I said, all of the pagan religions. If you're a Mason, I'm sure you know that, because I have read Masonic stuff. They even break it down like this. All the pagans religions, all the pagan gods, they're all the same. They are all the same. They just have different names. For example, the so-called God from the word Goth. So that was those Germanic people. That's what they use. That's the language they spoke. The so-called Indo-European language, whatever they use. Goth for God. Eventually, Goth became God. And whether they call him Odin, Woden is exactly the same guy as Zeus. It's the same guy. It's just the Greek call him Zeus. That's why in English, the word God would be used in English, but in languages that came from Latin or Greek, they'll have Deus, which is Zeus. So Zeus is the same guy as Odin that the Norse people worship. Although with Zeus, he had beard. He was a black dude. Well, when they painted him in pictures, because these people who worship him, the Greeks and the Romans, they were black people, until white supremacy came and whitewashed black history during the Renaissance. Then they turned them white. They turned everybody white. In fact, white supremacy turned everything white. Even sugar, they turned sugar white. They turned everything white. They bleach everything, because they turned chicken white. You had real foul chickens, colorful chicken, and then they came in power. They created their own chicken. They turned everything white. Somehow they hid everything that's not white. So sugar turned white, flour, everything turned white, rice, everything turned white. But the sad thing about the thing that they bleach to turn white, these things they put chemicals in them to turn them white, and then you eat those things, and in no time you die with cancer. So all the thing they took something Most High created, some nice chicken, some nice, strong, masculine, colorful chicken, roosters, whatever. Then they turn them to these little white chickens that they sell in the market that tastes like freaking gums or whatever. So it's sponge. You're eating sponge. It don't even taste like chicken. It tastes. Anyway, that's a different topic. But anyway, I am not going to stop stressing that all the heathen gods, they are all the same guy, because all the heathen religions, they all have to do with nature, so-called Mother Nature, Father Nature. They all have to do with nature. They all have to do with the astrology. They all have to do with worshiping what the Tanakh would call the hosts of heaven, meaning all the things you see in the sky. They all have to do with worshiping the moon, the sun, the stars, the thunders, the lightnings, the water, everything. The Egyptians, they went as far as even worshiping animals, because the animals are part of nature. They had a big crocodile dude in the Hall of Judgment, just sitting right there, waiting for people to any hearts that way more than a feather. Then they send it to him. So this guy, they worship this guy. All their gods, they look like some jackals, some crazy animals, some serpents, some whatever. They even have cats. That guy, the cats also, they in the underworld as gods up there. So the Egyptians worship everything. The Egyptians even worship penises. Till this day, we have big monuments, obelisks that's really represent penis, like the Eiffel Tower or wherever it is in France. That's a penis, because these Masons they follow these Egyptian thing, where these dudes, they worship penises. Why would you worship penis? A penis. They worship everything. I don't know what is it that they did not worship. Scarabs. They worship everything, whatever it is. Every animal, everything in the water. That's why the Most High's law says, don't make no image of me that look like anything in so-called heaven, meaning the stars, sun, moon, nothing on earth, whether it's a dog or a cat or a lizard or the thing in the water or fish. So that Egyptian religion, that's voodoo. Voodoo got fish gods. They got La Sirene. That's a mermaid god that they really believe it really exists, although they never seen one. That's a half creature that look like men and women at the same time, some weird looking thing, and then half fish. And then they have another god also in the water, Simbi. They worship things in the water, and there's nothing you can tell them. There's nothing you can tell them. Look, are you serious? You think there's a guy in the water named Simbi? Whatever you're gonna worship? You think that they worship snakes? You think there's a big snake in some water called Dambala for you? Let me tell you, you Haitians or you West Africans. The word Dambala is not supposed to be Dambala. It's supposed to be Dunbala. Dun is just like a leader, just like we call the word done, because done means a judge, because you Haitians are Israelites. You're Hebrews. You're from the nation of Israel. Those people in Israel right now, those were put there in 1948 to play your role. You Haitians, I'm gonna do a video break down how you Haitians, you're Israelites. So it's not dumb bala, it's not dumb, it's dun bala. Bala is the name of it's like say King Bala, because there was a tribe named Dan, tribe of Dan, among the 12 tribes, and the symbol of that tribe was a serpent. That's why when in Genesis 49, when Jacob was talking to his sons, when he came to Dan, which is done, which is the same word, done, just like you see in Italian, it's using the word done this, done dada. It's still the same thing, Dan, because tribe of Dan, all the judges in the Bible, they came from the tribe of Dan, just like Samson. So it's not dumb bala, it's done bala, because tribe of Dan, their symbol, when Jacob spoke to Dan, it says, Dan shall be a serpent by the wayside. Dan, the tribe of Dan, the symbol of Dan was a serpent. That's why still in voodoo, they worshiping this guy Dambala as a serpent. That's Israelites who took the religion of the Tanakh of the Torah, they mix it with the Sumerian thing and they put it together. Then they got that voodoo thing that all messed up, all mixed up with other stuff. But that wasn't the topic. That's a totally different topic. Another thing, people, those of you who know, Haitians who do know, the first flag that Haitian had is not what we had, the white, blue, and the red, white, and blue. That's some French flag. They need to burn that flag. That flag has nothing to do with Haitians. That's the mulattoes who was French in their minds. They didn't want to be identified as black people. They wanted to be identified as white French. So they took the French flag and then they gave Haiti a version of it, because the first flag that Haitian had was in that color. It was red and black. I'm sure every Haitian knows this. And originally it had two lions standing holding a crown. And it was red and black, two lions standing, holding a crown, with a rooster standing right there. Because the Haitians, they knew they were from the tribe of Judah. Because every tribe had a symbol. And the tribe of Judah, their symbol was lion. That's why when you read Genesis 49, verse 8, when Jacob was talking to his son Judah, it says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy father's children, thy mother's children shall bow unto thee. And it says, Judah crouches as a lion. And it says, tribe of Judah was supposed to be the leader. That's why it says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. That's why all the kings in the nation of Israel, they were all supposed to come from the tribe of Judah, until 10 tribes bugged out. They went into Sumerian garbage, and then they said, look, they started to have kings. Well, one main tribe of Ephraim, that was totally bugged out. Now I wanted to follow a totally different program, not the program that the Most High established, where the leaders of the nation of Israel are from the tribe of Judah, which is why out of all the people that used to live here before white supremacy came, they all fought to free themselves. The only successful one that happened was Haitians, the Haitian Revolution from tribe of Judah, which is why Haitians, they are still the biggest target, the biggest public enemy number one to white supremacy. Why they stay on Haitian, they keep their feet on Haitians' necks, because they know Haitians, they are from the tribe of Judah, but they just don't know it. They think they're from Africa, although west coast of Africa, you had a kingdom there called Weda or Yehuda, which is Judah. In fact, this book, if you want to get this book, it's called Voodoo, and this topic is about voodoo, how voodoo is Christianity. Voodoo in Haiti, written by Alfred Metro. Voodoo, for those who want to get it, you'll see in a page here, I don't know if I did write it down, Haitians came from the tribe of Judah. Haitians came from the tribe of Judah, but that wasn't the topic. From Weda in the west coast of Africa, there was a kingdom in the west coast of Africa named Weda. And then there's another book I have upstairs. It's not down here. Creole. It's called Creole and whatever in the New World, whatever it is. That book is upstairs. Show you again tribe of Judah with so-called Negroes in the Americas, and Haiti's one of them. So Haitians from the tribe of Judah. And I kept saying a lot of Egyptian things, just in case people wondering, like, why are you saying voodoo and the Egyptian religion are the same religion, just like I'm saying voodoo and Christianity is the same religion. So you can get this book called The Egyptian Book of the Dead. All of that's a totally wrong translation of the title of the book that the Egyptian wrote. You know, it's Ru Nu Perdum Haru and Kurt, which is the book of coming forth by day into the light from darkness, whatever it is. Basically, this book is about, that's a voodoo book. That's, if you wanna really understand real voodoo, this is this book. And we want to understand real Christianity, this is this book. So all this, you have a hell, you know, a lake of fire. That's not from Christianity. This is from the Egyptian garbage, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, so-called Book of the Dead, the Ru Nu Perdum Haru. This is where it came from. Now it's funny how the Egyptian, they had a lake of fire. They had a lake of fire. Christianity stole it. Well, it's the same religion. Christianity is voodoo. Voodoo is the Egyptian religion. But the Egyptian also had a lake of penis, How come Christianity never stole that one? They left that one for the Egyptian to follow. Say, look, we're gonna take the lake of fire, but the lake of penis, we're gonna leave it there. I guess somehow the people who follow that Egyptian religion, who follow that voodoo, when they were creating Christianity, they didn't see how they were gonna make a lake of penis sound good. It's like, why would there be a lake of penis? Why would there be a lake of just filled with penises? The Egyptians, their mind, I don't know. But now with this last video, I already talked more than, it's supposed to be done in a few. I already talked so much about something else. Last thing I'm going to show that's parallel, another parallel between voodoo and Christianity. Voodoo has human sacrifice. Voodoo believe in human sacrifice. Maybe now, because of the kind of world we live in, maybe voodoo people may say, look, let's keep it with the sheep and the goats. We're not going to kill people and eat them for the most part. Maybe some people sit in the jungle and some mountains probably still sacrificing people and eat them. Human sacrifice. And for those who are Haitians, who understand Haitian Creole, the language we speak, every other word, when Haitians are mad with people, they want to threaten you, they quick to say mal manjo. That's how much that thing is instilled in them. That voodoo thing is so ingrained in them, instilled in them, to believe that they can eat people. Even when they're not going to eat the person, they still say, look, I'm going to eat you. That's probably the only culture in the world that like people talk like this. Look, mal manjo. Because their religion, they were really eating people, human sacrifice, as something good, not as something bad. Because although the word is cannibal, in our time that word been demonized like it's the worst thing. Back then, a cannibal was something good. That was a good title for a priest. Priest, because the word cannibal is two words put together. The boulder, B-A-L, Baal. You can see the word Baal in there because there was a god named Baal. Baal, the Bible, or Bel, B-E-L, is the same dude. Or Baal. And Kani, that's ancient word for priest. That was priest of Baal. Why they call people that ate people priests of Baal, or priests of Baal? Because in that religion, they really believe in the priests. Because when you kill somebody, you sacrifice the person. The meat was holy meat. Just like in the Tanakh, when you sacrifice a sheep, that was good meat for the priests to eat, holy people to eat. So in the heathen religion, Baal, that meat were holy meat that only the priests were allowed to eat it. Maybe the priest in the heathen religion, maybe the priest will give some people, oh, here, taste this. Yeah, that was the neighbor that was talking all this thing. Now we're eating his daughter because his daughter was holy, so we're eating his son, just like Jesus. So in voodoo, they have human sacrifice. In Christianity, they took that religion, I guess, to modernize it, to Romanize it, because the Romans, they wanted to have their own version of Christianity, of voodoo. That's the Roman version, and they started that Roman Catholic Church. That was the first Christian religion. Well, not the first, but that's the only one that survived, because the Roman Catholics, they waged war against everybody, all the other Christians, and destroyed them, annihilate them. Like the Gnostic religion, which was the purest Christian version, who was very close to what voodoo was, because these dudes, they were really mystic type of dudes who really believe in witchcraft while they were doing that Christianity thing. But the Roman version, the Roman Catholic version, they destroyed them. They destroyed the Essenes. They destroyed all the other version that they didn't like, and then they took that Roman Catholic version, the Roman version, and then they universalize it. Supposedly, they said, look, universally, this is the only version of Christianity, of that voodoo that this world should follow. in the time of Constantine, 330 some AD. So if you got caught being a Gnostic or any of those other Christian version of Christianity, whatever, any other version, you will be crucified. You will literally be crucified or being fed to the lions or being killed or murdered. And that's true history. The only version they wanted to push was Catholicism. And then Catholicism stayed for hundreds of years, more than thousands of years, until some other Catholics weren't happy with it, because a group of Catholics said, look, we don't want to be priests. We want to be pastors. We want to be able to marry women. We want to be able to enjoy a woman. Then these Catholics, they started protesting against these other Catholics. The other Catholics who wanted to be still priests, who wanted to deal with little boys. So those Catholics said, look, then we're going to call ourselves Protestants, because we want to protest against these other Catholics. I'm sure a lot of you already know how from Catholicism, then you had this version of a group of Catholics said, look, we don't want to follow this. We don't follow this other Catholic thing. We're going to start on new thing, and we're going to call it this. And you had the Puritans, you had the Jehovah's Witness, and then you had the Seventh Day. Then you have, these are all Catholics. I just didn't want to, branch up from the Catholic thing. If Constantine had destroyed all type of Catholicism, all type of Christianity, including Catholicism, there'll be no Christians right now. But somehow he liked that version of the Roman version of that voodoo, because Constantine was a dude who came from Africa. He was a black dude who came from Africa. So he was already into that voodoo thing. He just took that voodoo religion and then said, look, let's create this version of it, and then let everybody follow it. And whoever don't follow it, you're gonna be killed, and that's it. And that's all that happened with Christianity. So all the other Christian versions, they all went extinct. They all disappeared. And then now people trying to go read books, see if they can revive them. So human sacrifice is both in voodoo and Christianity. Somebody's gonna say, look, people don't eat people in Christianity. Okay, not physically. That in that version is symbolically. They got you eating something to think that it was the body of some dude. In voodoo, that's Ogu. But although in voodoo, Ogu never said to eat his body. Ogu was a god of war. But somehow, I don't know if that part was in the original voodoo. I don't know. But, so in Christianity, that's human sacrifice. That's against the Most High's law, where you're going to eat somebody, whether physically or symbolically or spiritually. Any way you want to eat somebody, the Most High say that's wrong. That's it. So I've talked to a lot of Christians say, no, that's not really human sacrifice. It is human sacrifice. It's symbolic. Religion got a lot of symbols all symbols in a lot of things they do. So that's eating somebody symbolically. So that's one parallel. One parallel between voodoo and Christianity. Another parallel, another law the Most High say, you better not break. You're not supposed to do is drinking blood, human blood, especially human blood. Most I say don't drink no manner of blood, whether the snake blood, the lizard blood, the cat's blood, the bird's blood, the fish blood, human blood, no blood. Now in voodoo, they love drinking blood, literally love drinking blood. They'll kill the chicken, they'll drop the blood in some cup, they're gonna drink it. The cow blood, the pigs, especially the pig's blood. So if they eat people, because that's what voodoo's about, whether those new voodoo people, voodoo practitioners, maybe they're not eating people right now, but I'm sure there's some still in some jungle eating people, and then they're drinking their blood. So with the blood thing, Christianity, Jesus said, if you drink this wine, whatever thing, it has to be wine, because this dude was a wine bibber. He was an alcoholic. He drank a lot. Because he's Ogu. Ogu, if you in voodoo, Ogu jump on you. The only way to convince people that Ogu jump on you, you gotta have a big bottle barbecue and drinking and throwing and drinking and throwing and going crazy. That's Ogu. That's Jesus. Jesus, that dude was obsessed with drinking. As a god, he was obsessed with drinking. That's why his first miracle, he could have done everything else as his first miracle. But no, wine had to be his first miracle because he was an alcoholic. I'm not saying he was called alcoholic because he was an alcoholic because I don't like him. Because I love drinking sometimes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with drinking because in the Bible you can have a couple of drinks. There's nothing wrong with that. That is not my point that I'm saying you cannot drink. I'm not church. See, church people, they're gonna say, well, you cannot drink, but at the same time, when Jesus was doing his thing, Jesus was called a wine bibber, but they said Jesus was perfect. So how is it that you're not supposed to drink, but Jesus was called a wine bibber? Somebody who drank a lot of wine. And how the hell his first miracle was a wine at a wedding, but church people got the nerve to tell people, no, you can't drink, or the Muslim people say the Islam, and you cannot drink. Who said this? But at the same time, Islam want to follow Isa. Isa is Jesus. Jesus drank. Jesus not saying, well, Jesus wasn't alcoholic, just like Ogu. Drink a lot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with drinking. In the Tanakh, you had something called a wine offering, of course, which means if you bring the Most High food, some meat for him to eat with vegetable, whatever it is, he wants to drink, then you have to bring wine. So which means the so-called God of the Old Testament, of course, he'll be sitting down eating and have a nice glass of wine or two. Although the Most High tell, there's a law that says, look, if you're a priest bringing me the wine, you cannot be drinking wine bringing me wine. If you did drink, you cannot come to the temple. A priest not supposed to be drinking the same way. If I'm teaching thing that has to do with scripture sometimes, I'm not going to be sitting here drinking. If I get drunk, I start talking all type of BS now. I'm not going to know I'm saying BS, but you're going to know I'm saying BS. So if I did drink, it's just like when you go into work, your boss say, look, don't drink before you come to work. Because if we smell it in your breath, you're going to be fired. It's the same thing. The Most High has a law. Say, look, you cannot drink and then trying to come to the temple, although you bring them the wine. Because the Most High, he's not performing anything in the temple. He's just sitting there. As I already showed you, I believe 100% he was a man. How he looked, I don't know. But he was a man, so he'll eat and he'll have a wine. A nice little wine. He says, wine make the heart merry. Like, a nice glass of wine. But at the same time, he said, give strong liquor to somebody that's ready to perish. Because, when you start drinking heavy a lot, they say, look, if this person got all type of problems and this person is like suicidal, and everything going bad for this person, listen, maybe invite this person to your house. Let's have a drink. Because it looks like you're about to kill yourself. Let's chill for a little bit. Let's relax. It's not that bad. Things going to change. But let's have a little nice drink here and then chill. But that was the last parallel between voodoo and Christianity. Human sacrifice, human flesh eating, that they both believe in it, but Christianity want to do it in a symbolical way. Listen, I don't care which way you want to say it. It's still believing in human sacrifice. That's it. So the same way, I'm not gay. I would never want to suck a penis. I'm saying this clear because now let's say I go to religion, then they say, look, here's this dildo. You're not gay. Nah, I know you're not gay, but have a little lick. Just pretend, just symbolically suck the penis. I'm like, look, I will not do it symbolically and I will not do it physically. So either way, I'm not doing it because me doing symbolically, it's gotta say I want to do it physically. So you people eating that flesh symbolically, you might as well eat the flesh physically, just like real voodoo. And then drinking the blood, any type of blood. Most of I say you cannot drink. That's why you go to a restaurant, people, they say, oh, how do you want your meat done? Oh, medium rare. Why? Because it's juicier. Oh, rare. No, that's people who like to eat blood. And the Bible say, the law said, look, you're not supposed to, to eat blood, drink blood. If you kill an animal, make sure you spill all the blood on the floor, clean the meat and cook it and cook it But you got people who want to eat meat with blood, and then they say, "Oh, it's juicier." No, that means you're just a savage. You really want to eat people. You really want to eat people. That it's not juicier. It's bloody. It's bloodier. It's not juicier. So with this, I'm gonna say shalom.